good, Twitch? Artemu the Violet Wizard here, and today we are finally taking on Pokémon Emerald! One of my absolute favorite games from when I was a kid. Man, I have a lot of great memories with this game, and I've been looking forward to play this game properly on Twitch. I did do a sort of practice stream of this game like 2 years ago, but that didn't go well, but things are much better now. My system is a lot more stable. I've got an actual plan on how this game is going to go, and I think things are going to be just very good on this adventure. I've been really looking forward to streaming this game again after getting done my Leaf Green and Gold streams, so yeah, without further ado, let's hop back in to the world of Hoenn. Hi, sorry to keep you waiting. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Birch, but everyone calls me the Pokemon Professor. This is what we call a Pokemon. Nah, that's what I call a leaf. This world is widely inhabited by creatures known as Pokemon. We humans live alongside Pokemon, at times as friendly playmates, and at times as cooperative workmates. Sometimes we band together and battle others like us. But despite our closeness, we don't know everything about Pokemon. In fact, there are many, many secrets surrounding Pokemon. To unravel Pokemon mysteries, I've been undertaking research. That's what I do. And you are? Are you a boy or are you a girl? Like your standard Pokemon games from Crystal onward, you're able to choose your gender. I do like the designs of both of these characters, but for this playthrough, I'm going with the girl. This character is canonically known as May. But I'm gonna call you Haley. So it's Haley? Yep. Kind of a feminine version of my real name. Yeah, okay, you're Haley, who's moving to my hometown of Littleroot. I get it now. Alright, are you ready? Your very own adventure is about to unfold. Take courage and leap into the world of Pokemon, where dreams, adventure, and friendships await. Well, I'll be expecting you later. Come see me in my Pokemon lab. Right off the bat, I really like how this game starts. With the main character moving to her hometown, she's in the back of this moving truck. And without further ado, welcome to the Hoenn region. Haley, we're here, honey. Must be tiring riding with our things in the moving truck. Well, this is Littleroot Town. How do you like it? This is our new home. It has a quaint feel, but it seems to be an easy place to live, don't you think? And you get your own room, Haley. Let's go inside. See, Haley, isn't it nice in here, too? The movers Pokemon do all the work of moving us in and cleaning up after. This is so convenient. Haley, your room's upstairs. Go check it out, dear. Dad bought you a new clock to mark our move here. Don't forget to set it. So right off the bat, we see one of the changes between this game and Ruby and Sapphire. In Ruby and Sapphire, there would be too much choke moving stuff around in our house. But in Emerald, they have 2 Vigoroth here. There's a lot of changes they make in between the different versions that make me really appreciate what we got here in Emerald. So up in our room, we have a PC. We're able to access our item storage and withdraw a potion. It's a very good item that can replenish Pokemon's HP. We got a mailbox where we can store mail and decorations, which we can't do anything with just yet, but that'll be important for later. Adventure rule number 1, open the menu with start. Adventure rule number 2, record your progress with save. The remaining pages are blank. We have a map that gives us a pretty good view of the world we're going to explore here in the Hoenn region. It'll be very fun. It's a Nintendo GameCube. A Game Boy Advance is connected to serve as a controller. I never had a GameCube as a kid, which is a shame because there are so many good games on there. But at least I'm able to play GameCube games on my Wii, so that's all good. Mom might like this program. Better get going. The clock stopped. Better set it and start it. So here we have a clock which allows you to access certain time features in this game. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot we can do with this, but for now we'll set it to our current time, which is 3:40. Hey, Mom. Haley, how do you like your new room? Good, everything's put away neatly. They finished moving everything in downstairs, too. Pokemon movers are so convenient. Oh, you should make sure that everything's all there on your desk. Yeah, I took care of that. Right quick in our options menu here, we have our access to our bag, which has a bunch of different pockets for storing a lot of different items. We can check our trainer card, which shows information about our character, how long we've been playing, how much money we have, among other things. Save allows us to, of course, save our game. Yeah, I think it's about time we get rid of the original run, because yeah, that was not good stuff. And lastly, we have options, which allow you to go over a lot of different things that you can adjust in this adventure, like text speed, backgrounds and stuff. Let's go ahead and change our frame. This is what I'm kind of looking for. That one's kind of nice. Yeah, I like this one. We'll go with that. Oh, Haley, quick, come quickly. Look, it's Petalburg Gym. Maybe Dad will be on. We brought you this report from in front of Petalburg Gym. Oh, it's over. I think Dad was on, but we missed him. Too bad. Oh yeah, one of Dad's friends lives in town. Professor Birch is his name. He lives right next door, so you should go over and introduce yourself. Very convenient that we always move into the town that has the Pokemon Professor living in it. Use a PC, you can store items of Pokemon. The power of science is staggering. There's always one in every adventure. Professor Birch spends days in his lab studying, then he'll suddenly go out in the wild to do more research. When does Professor Birch spend time at home? I don't know, but I can imagine his folks do not like that. Huh? Professor Birch? The professor way on field work. Ergo, he isn't here. That's such a fun word to say. Oh, let me explain what field work is. It's to study things in the natural environment, like fields and mountains, instead of a laboratory. The professor is the one for doing desk work. He's the type of person who would rather go outside and experience things, rather than read about them here. So, Professor Birch currently isn't at his lab. Let's actually go check and see if he's home. Hello there. Oh, hello, and you are? Oh, you're Haley, our new next-door neighbor. Hi. We have a son about the same age as you. Our son was excited about making a new friend. Our son's upstairs, I think. Hi, neighbor. You already have your own Pokemon? No. Which is a shame, because I really like one. Ooh, Pokeball. Nobody's around. I don't think they'd mind if we took it. Ah, we're caught! Hey, you! Who are you? Oh, you're Haley, aren't you? Moved in next door, right? I didn't know that you're a girl. Dad, Professor Birch said that our new next-door neighbors are gym leader's kids, so assume you'd be a guy. Well, that's sexist. My name's Brendan, so hi, neighbor. Huh, hey, Haley, don't you have a Pokemon? Do you want me to go catch you one? Oh, what? Just because you think that I'm a girl that you cannot... that I do not have the ability to catch my own Pokemon? Jerk. Nah, darn, I forgot. I'm supposed to go help my dad catch some wild Pokemon. Some other time, okay? And he just goes on his computer. What you looking at, buddy? E621? Neat. So that's pretty much all we can do here at Professor Birch's house. So why don't we head up north? Hi. There's scary Pokemon outside. I can hear their cries. I want to go see what's going on, but I don't have any Pokemon. Can you go see what's happening for me? Sure thing. Help me! Get away! Get away! No! They stopped! Hello! You over there! Please help! In my bag! There's a Pokeball! That guy looks like he's in trouble. Why are you going? Don't leave me like this! Yep, there's no running away from this. We have to help them. And now we have our choice of starter Pokemon. The Wood Gecko Pokemon, Treecko. The Chip Pokemon, Torchic. Or the Mudfish Pokemon, Mudkip. All three of these starters are really good. They all have very good qualities to them, and I think they can work pretty well in this region. Just to go over statistics here, Treecko is the speedy attacker of the group. It's very fast, has access to some pretty good, powerful moves. It can be pretty helpful down the line, especially in the late game. Torchic is the mainly offensive Pokemon in this lineup. It can use both physical and special attacks very well, and is all around a great fighter. Kind of struggles a bit in the late game, but there's still a lot of good battles it's useful in. And finally, Mudkip, who I consider the best starter Pokemon of this lineup for a few reasons. It's mostly the defensive Pokemon in the group, but both of its offensive stats are still really good. And couple that with its very good HP and defenses, it's just a very viable Pokemon that can be useful to you all throughout the game. I easily consider it the best of this trio. I've definitely used all these Pokemon a lot of runs, but I am going for Torchic. Starting off here, we have Zigzagoon. A pretty basic Pokemon, but one we'll want to keep an eye out for. Alright, so our Torchic is level 5, and it's a male. Kind of disappointing. In my initial one episode run of Emerald I did before, I actually ended up with a female Torchic, and that was actually really lucky, because female starters are very hard to get. But with that, we managed to take out Zigzagoon. Whew, I was in the tall grass stunning wild Pokemon when I was jumped. You saved me, thanks a lot. Oh, hi, you're Haley. It's not the place to chat, so come by my Pokemon lab later, okay? So, Haley, I've heard so much about you from your father. I've heard you don't have your own Pokemon yet. But the way you battled earlier, you pulled it off with aplomb. I guess you have your father's blood in your veins after all. You don't know that. I could be adopted. Oh yes, thanks for rescuing me. I let you out of the Pokemon you used earlier. And with that, we get the Pokemon we battled with. While you're at it, why not give a nickname to that Torchic? That'd be a pretty good idea, and I have kind of a weird name for this guy. He's a chicken. He's Jerk Chicken. If you work at Pokemon Gain Experience, I think you'll make an extremely good trainer. My kid Brendan's also studying Pokemon while helping me out. Haley, don't you think it might be a good idea to go see Brendan? That sexist guy? Hell no. Oh, don't be that way. You should go meet my kid. Fine. Great. Brendan should be happy too. Get Brendan to teach you what it means to be a trainer. So, we finally got our first Pokemon. In the Pokemon menu, you're able to check the statistics and your current condition of your Pokemon. The third generation of the Pokemon series introduced a lot of stuff involving our Pokemon here. So besides our usual stats, we now have access to abilities. This was introduced in this generation. It really changes up the different playstyles of the Pokemon that you acquire. Some abilities are exclusive to Pokemon, others are just very good. These are definitely things you want to watch out for. For example, our Torchic has the Blaze ability, which means that our Fire-type moves will increase in power if we are less than 1/3 of our max health. And our Torchic also has a Nature. This is another quality introduced in Generation 3. Natures affect the stat growth of your Pokemon, so because we have a sassy nature, one of our stats will be 10% higher, and one of our stats will be 10% lower. I believe sassy influences special defense and speed. Based on this, I think sassy might be the special defense boosting nature. Well, it's still pretty good. Of course, you can access your stats. You can check how much experience you need to your next level, what current held items you can have. Ribbon is something that won't be going into until much later on. You can also check your moves, and also check the contest moves. Those will be necessary for something much later on in the adventure. We're not going to get into that until a very long time. But yeah, we currently have our first Pokemon, and we have our first objective, which is to go find Brendan. Yippee. So let's head on out onto Route 101. Wild Pokemon will jump out at you in tall grass. If you want to catch Pokemon, you have to go into the tall grass and search, which is exactly what we gonna do. I highly recommend getting at least one level up before completing our current objective. So right here we have Poochyena. It's a Dark-type Pokemon, mainly emphasizes in attack, which is kind of a problem for a Dark-type Pokemon at this point in the series. I'll go into that a little bit later. For that, Jerk is already close to his next level up. Pokemon get tired, take them to a Pokemon Center. There's a Pokemon Center in Oldale Town right close by. Can do. And with that, we already made it to the second town. There's not a whole much here, but there's still some good points we want to check out here for the time being. So whenever you want to heal up your Pokemon, just go to a Pokemon Center and talk to the nurse. She'll take care of your Pokemon so their HP and PP and status is fully restored. Very good. That PC in the corner there is for any Pokemon trainer to use. Naturally, that means you're welcome to use it too. Good to know. The Pokemon Wireless Club on the second floor was built recently, but they say they're still making adjustments. I really have no need for that, so I'm not going to go up there. Pokemon Centers are great. You can use their services as much as you like, and it's all for free. You never have to worry. So right here is the PC. In the PC, you can access your PC to check your item storage and mailbox, and you can access someone's PC, which gives you access to the boxes, which allow you to store your Pokemon. I really love the Gen 3 box system, which has become standard throughout the series, because in Gen 1 and Gen 2, the box was very awkward to navigate, but in this game, it is so much better. I love the box system, and I'm glad that every game after this has continued to use the boxes from Gen 3. It's great. When Pokemon battle, they eventually level up and become stronger. If the Pokemon with you becomes stronger, you'll be able to go farther away from here. Oh yeah. Hello, sir. Hi, I work at a Pokemon Mart. Can I get you to come with me? Sure thing. This is a Pokemon Mart. Just look for a blue roof. We sell a variety of goods, including Pokeballs for catching Pokemon. Here, I'd like you to have this as a promotional item. So we get a potion from that, restores 20 HP. Potion can be used anytime, so it's even more useful than a Pokemon Center in certain situations. I'm gonna take a rest, so I'm saving my progress. This guy's kind of interesting. Ah, wait! Please, don't come in here! I just discovered the footprints of a rare Pokemon! Wait until I finish sketching them, okay? So we cannot move on from the town that way until that guy is done. We'll want to remember that for later. When a Pokemon battle starts, the one at the left of the list goes out first. So when you get more Pokemon in your parties, try switching around the order of your Pokemon. It can give you an advantage. Currently, we only have one Pokemon, so we don't need to worry about that, but we'll focus on that much later on. But anyway, let's move up to Route 103. My Pokemon's staggeringly tired. I should have brought a potion. Yes, you should have. Let's go up here and talk to our friend Brendan. We're still level 5, but I think we should be able to handle this. We got potions. Okay, so it's this one and that one that live on Route 103. Hey, it's Haley. Oh yeah, Dad gave you a Pokemon. Since we're here, how about a little battle? I'll teach you what being a trainer's about. Trust me, kid, I've got years of experience with this. So Brendan here is our rival on this adventure. He will always use the starter Pokemon that is super effective against yours. In this case, he has a Mudkip. So I'm going to use Growl here. Growl is what's known as a status move that can affect Pokemon in a lot of different ways. In this case, Growl lowers the attack of the opponent, so they'll be doing less damage to me. And then Scratch is Torchic's main offensive attack. This inflicts damage, and you want to try to get your opponent's HP to 0, while also making sure your Pokemon's HP doesn't reach 0. Already this went much better than my stream that I did 2 years ago, because we already beat him. Very good. And then we got 2 level ups. Very nice. And Jerk learned Focus Energy. That's another status move that increases the critical hit rate of Pokemon. Huh, Haley, you're not too shabby. Thank you. And by beating trainers, you can earn money. I think I get it. I think I know why my dad has his eye out for you now. Look, your Pokemon already likes you, even though you just got it. Haley, I get the feeling that you could befriend any Pokemon with ease. We should head back to the lab. Any Pokemon? You mean like the really rare ones? Like the Ultra Beasts? Oh, that'd be good. Ultra Beasts and Mythicals, just, so many cool Pokemon. And there's definitely a lot of them here in the Hoenn region, as I'll be going into. All in all, I find the Hoenn roster is pretty good. I wouldn't say it's the best, but there's a lot of interesting Pokemon introduced in these games. And I'll definitely be doing my best to showcase as many of them as I can. Just to go over the move we just learned again. Focus Energy increases the critical hit ratio of your Pokemon. Critical hits are something that your Pokemon have a chance of doing in battle, wherein your attacks will deal twice as much damage as they normally do. In this generation at least, they completely changed the way critical hits work in Generation 6, so they only do 1.5 times as much damage. But in here, they're 2 times, and that is very helpful. I'm heading back to my dad's lab now. Haley, you should hustle back too. Yeah, sure, whatever. Nothing better for us to do here. At long last, we've returned back to Littleroot. Hi, Professor. Oh, hi, Haley. I heard you beat Brendan on your first try. That's excellent. Brendan's been helping with my research for a long time. Brendan has an extensive history as a trainer already. Here, Haley, I ordered this from my research, but I think you should have this Pokédex. The Pokédex is a very good tool in this game. Pokédex is a high-tech tool that automatically makes a record of any Pokemon you meet or catch. My kid Brendan goes everywhere with it. Whenever my kid catches a rare Pokemon and records its data in the Pokédex, why, Brendan looks for me while I'm out doing field work and shows me. So you got a Pokédex too? Well then, here, I'll give you these. And we get Pokeballs. You know, it's more fun to have a whole bunch of Pokemon. I'm gonna explore all over the place to find different Pokemon. If I find any cool Pokemon, you bet I'll try to get them with Pokeballs. Good to know. Alright guys, smell you later. With that out of the way, our adventure can truly begin. Wait, Haley! What now? Haley, did you introduce yourself to Professor Birch? Oh, what an adorable Pokemon! You got it from Professor Birch? How nice! You're your father's child, all right. You look good together with Pokemon. Here, honey, if you're going out on an adventure, wear these running shoes. They'll put a zip in your step. This is a very good item in this game. Haley, those shoes came with instructions. Press the B button while wearing these running shoes to run extra fast. Slip on these running shoes and race in the great outdoors. To think, you have your very own Pokemon now. Your father will be overjoyed. But please be careful. If anything happens, you can come home. Go on, go get him, honey. So in Generation 1 and 2, we cannot do this. We are now able to run, increasing our movement speed by a heck of a lot. Which will be very important going forward. So now with that taken care of, we are finally ready to begin our adventure here in Hoenn. Wow, we didn't run into anything there. Interesting. Before we advance much farther, let's go check out the mart, because we haven't been here yet. I'm gonna buy a bunch of Pokeballs and catch a bunch of Pokemon. If a Pokemon gets hurt and loses its HP and faints, it won't be able to battle. To prevent your Pokemon from fainting, restore its HP with a potion. Sure thing, kid. Welcome, how may I serve you? So this is where you can buy items. Pokeballs here, you could not be able to buy them until after getting the Pokedex from Birch. These are your tools for catching wild Pokemon. Potions, of course, restore your Pokemon's HP. Antidotes, Paralyze Heals, and Awakenings are items that cure your Pokemon's status. These will cure Poison, Paralysis, and Sleep, respectively. Going forward, I'll probably want a few of these, so let's buy a couple. Yeah, because on the road ahead, there are some Pokemon that can inflict some bad status ailments on us. You're also able to sell items that you don't need. There are some items that exist solely to be sold, in which case, definitely do that. With that said, let's go see if we can add some new additions to our team. There's quite a few Pokemon in the early game here, and one of them just popped out right now, Wingull. This is a water-flying type Pokemon, and one that I am very fond of. So if you're able to survive this, okay, good. It starts out with Water Gun right away, so if you didn't pick Mudkip, this is definitely a good Pokemon to add into your team at this point in the adventure. Wingull is a fairly fast Pokemon, and since it covers both water and flying types, it can be very helpful on your early teams. Come on, this thing is below half health. It's level 2. Can I please catch this thing? Okay, good. And with that, we caught Wingull. Wingull, the seagull Pokemon. It makes its nest on a sheer cliff at the edge of the sea. It's trouble keeping its wings flapping in flight. Instead, it soars on updrafts. Very lucky I managed to catch a female of these, because a female water type is going to be very important later down the line. Now, we need to make a decision on what we're going to name this Pokemon. Yeah, I knew that I had Jerk planned. Actually, last night I was kind of thinking about what I would name my Torchic, and just the name Jerk came to me, and I thought that was funny, so I went with that. But for Wingull, there's not a whole lot here. Definitely use Wingull a lot of my playthroughs. A lot of different options I could go for you. Okay, I think I got a name for you. We'll name you Shanty. Just making sure that this is spelled right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think Shanty will be good. She's level 2, which is pretty darn low, but we can get her faced pretty quickly. So you see here she's got Keen Eye, prevents loss of accuracy. That is a good thing to keep in mind for the future. Also, her nature is quirky. That is interesting to note because there are some natures that have a neutral effect on your Pokemon where they don't raise or lower any of their stats, which is pretty good. Quirky is one of those natures. Alright, now that we got a new teammate, let's head on over to Route 102. Before we make some more progress here, there's one other Pokemon I want to catch for the team at this moment. I'm going to catch a whole bunch of Pokemon. And luckily we can find it on this route. It's a really good one. Not this one. Wurmple is a Bug-type Pokemon. Much like Caterpie, except for Wurmple, it has the rare honor of being able to have 2 potential evolutions based on a value that is coding for pretty much all Pokemon, and in Wurmple's case, some of those numbers help determine what it will evolve into. But yeah, it's a decent Pokemon in the early game. Wouldn't consider it one of the best, but it can still be helpful. Got another Poochyena. Let's go into battle. And while we're kind of doing some battles here and looking for the Pokemon that I want, let's go a little bit into the battles and typing here. So, in Generation 3, the way that battles and typing matches up with stats works a lot differently than it does in modern Pokemon games. Ooh, I think we should be able to take it out. Yeah, there we go. Good work, Shanty. Managed to take out a Poochyena that was much stronger than you. Whew, that was clutch. So, in Generation 3, the stats that help determine the power of your moves is based entirely around the type of the move that you're using. So every type is assigned a certain value that determines whether it will use the attack or special stats during damage calculation. So, for example, a water type attack like Water Gun will always use the special attack stat, while a normal type attack like Scratch will always use the attack stat for determining damage. This can be a little annoying in certain situations because this Poochyena here that we just killed with a critical hit, it's a Dark type, and Dark type moves in this game use the special stat for determining damage. The problem with that is that Poochyena is not a special attacker. Its physical attack is so much higher, so it's not really going to do too much damage with its Dark type attacks. Starting in Gen 4, they made it so that each individual attack has a specific value, whether it will deal physical or special damage. And in order to make things a lot more fair in battles, and now there are certain water attacks that will deal physical damage and will use the physical attack stat, for instance. And that helps a lot of the usability of so many Pokemon. But anyway, with that said, hello Lotad. Lotad is a really good Pokemon in this game. It's a water grass type, and that typing makes it incredibly helpful in this game. I definitely considered it for the team at some point, but I'm pretty satisfied with the ones that I ultimately went with. Another Wurmple here. So also during this playthrough, while I'm going through stuff and explaining things in the game, one thing I definitely want to do over the course of the game is kind of compare things to how they work in Ruby and Sapphire compared to Emerald, and also how things are in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire compared to Emerald, because I actually really like the remakes. I think that they do a good job of fixing a lot of things about the original Ruby and Sapphire. I like the presentation of stuff and the changes they make to the overall story and the world, and add a ton of great mechanics into the series. Like in those games, you don't have to worry about the physical special stats that's affecting your moves too much, because all that is fixed, and makes a lot of Pokemon like Poochyena and Wurmple here a lot more useful. But, in my opinion, I still really like Emerald in a lot of ways more than Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, because Emerald is, in its own way, a very solid remake of Ruby and Sapphire. While it doesn't change much graphically and stuff, I mean, between Ruby and Sapphire and this, all like the individual animations your Pokemon do at the start of a battle, none of that is in Ruby and Sapphire. No animated sprites, which is kind of a pity. But yeah, I really consider Emerald to be a very solid retelling of the events of Ruby and Sapphire. this game also adds a lot of stuff, as we are eventually going to see. And that just makes the overall experience really great. Wonder why this Pokemon is taking so long to appear. It's usually not this rare. But at least this is a good opportunity to get some experience for the team. So with that said, how have things been going on? As for me, there's been a lot of stuff going on. I just got through a very exhausting 5-day work period, and oh boy, when you're working retail during these kind of days, it is something. So my store has recently employed a mandatory mask policy for anyone that comes to the store, both customers and employees, so that's been interesting. I've been able to use my mask pretty effectively so far, and just keeping safe for this whole ordeal. I'm really hoping that things eventually get better. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year things will improve. I don't know. Things are very uncertain right now. It's hard to really get a grasp on what's going to happen. But for the most part, I've been keeping safe, only leaving the house when absolutely necessary. So to get groceries and stuff. But yeah, a lot of things I miss right now, like going to restaurants, but it's just kind of what we have to deal with in these difficult times. But hey, at the very least, we still got our video games that we can play and just enjoy ourselves, make ourselves happy. Okay, I'll probably want to heal up at the Pokemon Center once more now that we've taken care of this Poochyena. I'm kind of tempted to go searching for this Pokemon on one of the other routes, because I definitely think it'd be more common there, but I specifically want to search on Route 10... I think it's 102. It's either 102 or 103. Specifically searching on this route because we have a better chance of encountering a higher level version of this Pokemon. So Pokemon in this area can go up to level 4, and having one like that would be very good to have, if we're able to find it. There's also another Pokemon that we can find in this area. It's very rare, but it is a very good Pokemon if you're able to train it up. So probably go over it sometime very soon. For the time being, I'm just gonna keep searching for this one Pokemon. Spoilers, it's one we've already encountered previously. But we just didn't have the opportunity to catch it at the time. But we should be able to get it relatively soon. Just Wurmples again. It's interesting. So before this stream, I actually reviewed the previous stream of Emerald I did like 2 years ago, and oh boy, things were bad there. Like, audio quality was definitely not up to snuff compared to what I got now. And a lot of issues with frame rate and stuff, because I was not using a very stable PC at the moment. But luckily, I'm no longer using that laptop. My desktop is now significantly better than what I had previously, so we're able to get through stuff so much better. It's also why I've been really looking forward to getting into some of the games I've been meaning to stream for quite some time now. Like, I'm really excited to get back into Shantae eventually, try to finish up Cave Story. And I also have a plan for doing Stardew Valley, which would be really cool. It's just a game that I really enjoyed playing, especially nowadays when things are kind of crazy and you're cooped up inside all day. Just playing something very relaxing, Something where you're not dealing with a whole lot of stress be all very good. And in between streams, of course, I'm going to be doing some artwork for this playthrough. In my previous Pokemon games, I went and drew pictures of all the Pokemon that I caught. And during this playthrough, I wish to continue that trend, just because it is oh so great. Now that I think about it, I don't know whether I want to do like standard Pokemon drawings, if I want to try doing like Gijinka art of my party, now that I think about it. So if you don't know, Gijinka is actually a term used to refer to like creating anthropomorphic versions of non-anthro characters. Those are basically like human-like versions of non-human entities. But yeah, it's something that I've done in the past that could be really interesting. So Shanty is now finally caught up with Jerk. Very nice. So I was not expecting at this point. We've still got a lot to do for this. I can see that frame rate's a little choppy right now. Hopefully that gets a bit more stable. Alright. Let's go back on the hunt. It's like... I am shocked right now I'm having this much difficulty finding this one Pokemon. It's supposed to be super common, but here it's just like, nah, I'm not showing up. Alright. Now that we have the time, let's kind of go over the Pokédex, since this is an important feature in this game. So your Pokédex gives you detailed information on all the Pokemon that you've seen or caught in your adventure. When you catch a Pokemon, you have all its information displayed. Its Pokédex number, its name, what species it is, its height, its weight, its footprint, and a short bit of flavor text describing the Pokemon in more detail. You can also access its cry if you want to hear that. You can check its size compared to your trainer, which is pretty cool. And you can also check what area it's located in. Of course, Torchic cannot be found in the wild, so that's listed as unknown. But if you go to a Pokemon you can find in the wild, like, for example, Zigzagoon, you're able to see its location in the wild. However, the information about it is very minimal until you actually catch it. That's how the Pokédex works. Pretty helpful. Now, in this playthrough, I'm not going to be focusing on filling up the Pokédex, because unlike Fire Red and Leaf Green, there aren't a whole lot of rewards for filling the Pokédex in this game, so I don't really feel the need of catching any Pokemon besides the ones that I really want to catch during this playthrough. So that's just how things are going to be for the time being. I guess while we're here, I guess I can talk about one more Pokemon that you could find in this area, but you can't catch it in Emerald. In Ruby and Sapphire and in remakes, you're capable of finding Surskit here. It's a Bugwater type Pokemon, and one that, depending on the game, could either be good or bad. In Ruby and Sapphire, I don't think it's all that good, but in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, you might actually want to consider using it, because it is a little bit better in those games, I feel. It's definitely a lot easier to find in those games with the new feature that is introduced in the remakes called the Dex Nav, which allows you to basically hunt for Pokemon that have special qualities to them. Like Pokemon that are slightly higher level than you normally find them at, or Pokemon with a higher chance of having high IVs. These are Pokemon that have exclusive egg moves. So yeah, that's definitely a good reason to get into Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. It makes hunting for a lot of Pokemon, especially competitively viable ones, so much easier. I don't know what I'm gonna do here if I don't find this Pokemon. Because it's one I want to have on my team. So good. But not for the reasons you may think. We'll be going over that in due time. Okay, at this point, if we're both at level 7, I think it's okay if we just kind of call it for this route. Because I'm having no luck finding this Pokemon in that area. I wanted to go and try to catch it there because there's a chance I could get it at level 4, which would be really good. But I'm just having no luck at it, so let us do something else. Let's try searching for it here on Route 101. So I think we should have a much easier time finding it. Poochyena. Another thing about Emerald compared to the original Ruby and Sapphire is that Poochyena is available on a lot more routes in Emerald than it was in Ruby and Sapphire. Pretty much the only place you could find Poochyena in Ruby and Sapphire are on these free routes that we have been to. But in Emerald, they're in a lot more places. Just in case you felt like adding one to the team. Spoilers, I don't. It's kind of a shame, really, because I do like Poochyena. It's just not the most viable Pokemon in this specific game. I mean, if I were to encounter a shiny Poochyena, that would, like, completely derail my plans. It's probably not going to be something I'm really going to go into until much later on, but yeah, there's a very, very, very rare chance of you encountering a very special Pokemon. Wow, we're having no luck down here either, huh? And it's gotta be around here. Actually check the Pokédex right now. Yeah, we just kind of have to go for it because we're not going to have another opportunity to catch this thing until much later on the adventure, and it's something I want to grab right now. There it is! Finally found it! Zigzagoon is a Pokemon that you definitely want to add to your team if you're playing one of the Gen 3 games, or its remakes. Now, this Pokemon may not be the best statistically. It's a pretty basic, normal-type Pokemon with okay stats overall, but it has something that makes it incredibly helpful on your teams. Rubbing its nose against the ground, it always wanders around, back and forth in search of something. It's distinguished by the zigzag footprints it leaves. That's cute. So for this Zigzagoon, since you're going to be on the team for quite a while, I'm going to name you after the Zigzagoon I had in my original one-episode stream, Pocky. And let us look at your statistics. Has a quiet nature, it's actually alright. But that ability, Pickup, is really good. So after every battle, your Zigzagoon will have a chance of having picking up a held item that you are able to use. And oh boy, you can get a lot of good items with this ability. Especially if you're playing the original Ruby and Sapphire, because in Emerald, the items you're able to obtain with Pickup are tied to that Pokemon's level. And as they level up, they will find better and rarer items with Pickup. But in Ruby and Sapphire, that feature is not established with Pickup, so that you're able to acquire even very good late-game items like Ultra Balls and Nuggets and Revives at like the beginning of the game, and it makes Zigzagoon an incredibly broken team member because it's able to find all these good items for you. So yeah, it's definitely a good Pokemon to have with you when exploring the Hoenn region, among other utilities. But now that we got the team the way I want them at the moment, let's finally progress. If you have Pokemon with you, then you're an official Pokemon trainer. You can't say no to my challenge. I'll see about that, kid. Youngster Calvin, where's Hobbs? That's not Hobbs. So we've already been through a trainer battle with Brendan, but this is our first traditional trainer battle here. So trainers can have anywhere between 1 to 6 Pokemon that they can use in battle. Simply defeat them all and you will get good experience for your party as well as money, which can be spent on items. As I just demonstrated there, Shanty now has a status move called Supersonic, which inflicts a special status ailment called Supersonic. Well, Confusion, I mean. Sorry. Confusion is unique in that it's a status ailment that can actually be stacked on top of other status ailments, and which is pretty effective because Confusion gives the affected Pokemon a chance of hitting themselves instead of doing damage to the opponent. So it can be a very effective status to use in a lot of different fights. Definitely recommend Confusion, especially in this point in the series. Now let's have Shanty take care of this. I mean, Shanty. It's not Shantae. Well, the name is very similar. I don't know if I'm subtly trying to convince myself to play Shantae again. I still need to beat Pirate's Curse. Speaking of which, the new game 7 Sirens came out very recently. I've been meaning to get into that. I'm not very tall, so I sink right into tall grass. Grass goes up my nose and achoo! Wear a mask, kid. So yeah, there's not much left to do on this route. Just a few more trainers to deal with. So another Pokemon news, I've been playing a lot more of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX again, just because I really love the game. And I managed to get done one of the post-game dungeons, which actually it ties into the storyline of a certain character, well, characters, during the main storyline, and man, it was really good. I love the way they concluded that whole story. I actually posted a bit about it on Twitter. You can actually access my Twitter from the little link I have down at the bottom left corner of the screen there. Hint, hint. Mostly post stuff like my opinions about certain things and artwork that I feel like sharing, but it's not really all that important or necessary, just if you'd like. So now, let's use Jerk again to take out this Tailo. Tailo is a decent Pokemon, and one I actually considered for my team at some point. It's a very fast physical attacker, doesn't have a lot of HP or defenses, but it is still an effective attacker. I caught you because I thought I could beat you. And over here, we have access to a new game mechanic, Berries. So berries were technically a mechanic back in Gen 2, but they refined this so much in the 3rd generation, where it's much more nuanced, a lot more complex, and very interesting. So berries are a special held item that you're able to give to your Pokemon, and they're able to use in battle on their own. So for example, if your Pokemon's at low in health, they'll eat an Oran Berry to restore their HP. And if they get inflicted with poison, they'll use a Pecha Berry to heal their status. They're definitely interesting items, and eventually we'll be able to cultivate berries of our own, so that we'll be able to have a lot more at a time. So yeah, they're decent items, not necessary, but they're still pretty handy to have. We've got another battle here. This is actually the last trainer in this area. Let's use focus energy so that we have a higher chance of getting critical hits. Because I want to try and end this battle quickly. And that's a good hit. Hey, I use focus energy so that I get more crits, not you. Yeah, it's not a guarantee, unfortunately. Now, Shroomish here. That is a grass type, and you want to be careful when fighting these things, because if you use a move that deals contact damage against the Shroomish, its ability will kick in Effect Spore, which will cause your Pokemon to either be afflicted with poison, paralysis, or sleep. Shroomish is definitely a good Pokemon, especially once it's evolved, and it's a Pokemon I considered for my team at some point, but I decided to go for another one just because it's a Pokemon that I don't see a lot of people use or talk about, so it'll be interesting when I eventually get to catching it. Let's go down here, we got another potion, and we should be ready to move on to the next area. There's one other Pokemon we could have found in... Well, actually, technically I think there's two more, but we'll go into those a little bit soon. Restore your Pokemon at full health. See you again. Thank you. There are many types of Pokemon. All types have their strengths and weaknesses against other types. Depending on the types of Pokemon, a battle can be easy or hard. For example, your Torchic's a fire type. It's strong against the grass and bug types, but it's weak against water Pokemon. Definitely want to focus a lot on using which types are effective against other types of Pokemon, because that's a key to winning a lot of battles. That PC-based Pokemon storage system. Whoever made it must be some kind of a scientific wizard. As a fellow wizard, I concur. My Pokemon ate an orange berry and regained HP. Hello there, trainer. You got a wonderful smile there. I have a hobby, collecting the profiles of Pokemon trainers. So how about it? May I see your profile? Sure. Yeah, thank you. So let's see it then. So this is something that I think is only really important if you're focusing on multiplayer. But yeah, let's see if we can do this. I am a cool he. I mean, it's right. I am cisgender after all. Profile, that's wonderful. Really says what you're about. Why, anyone hearing this profile will be captivated by you. Thank you. So yeah, that's something that really only ties into multiplayer, but whatever. Where has Wally gone? We have to leave for Verdant Town very soon. Want to keep that name in mind. Norman became our town's new gym leader. I think he called his family over from somewhere far away. I battled Norman once, but whew, he was way too strong. How would I put it? I just got the feeling he lives for Pokemon. Fascinating. Want to keep that in mind. Hey, buddy. My face is reflected in the water. It's a shining grin full of hope. Or it could be a look of somber silence struggling with fear. What do you see reflected in your face? I just see light bouncing off the surface of the water in order to give the illusion of there being something, an image being projected on the water surface. What about you? Traveling is wonderful. When I was young, I roamed the seas and the mountains. I wish I could go on an adventure with some Pokemon. Crawl through some damp grass, climb rocky, rugged mountains, cross the raging seas, wander around in dark caves, sometimes even get a little homesick. Must be fabulous to travel. Amen to that. I sure like traveling myself. Although under current situations right now, I haven't really had a chance to. Even if a Pokemon's weak now, it'll grow stronger. Most important thing is love. Love for your Pokemon. Use Repel, keeps Pokemon away so it's useful when you're in a hurry. That's something I don't tend to use. You have any antidotes with you? Walk around with a poison Pokemon, lose HP until it faints. Take some antidotes with you. That's something to keep in mind. Now, whenever you go to a new town, I highly recommend checking out the shops because every shop has different items that they can sell you. Here we can now get escape ropes, which allow you to escape from dungeons. Repel helps keep wild Pokemon that are lower level than the Pokemon in the lead of your party. But if the Pokemon is equal to or higher level, you'll still encounter them with that up. X items provide a temporary boost to your Pokemon stats in battle. These can be useful in a lot of different situations. And mail is something that is really only useful in multiplayer. I have no need for that. What I definitely want to do is pick up some more of these. One thing I highly recommend if you're buying Pokeballs is buy 10 Pokeballs at a time. Because then you're able to get a special item called a Premier Ball. It works basically the same as a regular Pokeball in every way. It's just a different color, but it looks cool. Let's buy a few more potions. That should be good, so let's move on. Let's say you have 6 Pokemon. If you catch another one, it's automatically sent to a storage box or a PC connection. Petalburg City Pokemon Gym Leader Norman, a man in pursuit of power. Hey boy. Hiya, you may be a rookie trainer? You know what Pokemon trainers do when they reach a new town? They first check what kind of Pokemon's in the town. Okay. Buddy, what are you doing? See, this is Petalburg City's gym. This is the gym sign. Look for it whenever you're looking for a gym. Okay, I guess we have no choice. Let's head into the gym. Hello, father. Well, if it isn't Haley. So, you all finished moving in. Surprised you managed to get here by yourself. Oh, I see. You're with your Pokemon. Then I guess you're going to become a trainer like me, Haley. That's great news. I'll be looking forward to it. I'd like to get a Pokemon, please. Oh, right. You're Wally, right? I'm gonna go stay with my relatives in Verdant Town. I thought it would be lonely by myself, so I want to take a Pokemon along. But I've never caught a Pokemon before. I don't know how. I see. Haley, you heard that right. Go with Wally, make sure that you safely catch the Pokemon. Do I have to? Wally, here, I'll loan you my Pokemon. Oh wow, a Pokemon! I'll give you a Pokeball too, go for it. Oh wow, thank you! Haley, would you really come with me? Sure, I guess. So this kid here is technically another rival character, but in a lot of ways not really. We'll see more of that in the future. Haley, Pokemon hide in tall grass like this, don't they? Please, watch me and see if I can catch one properly. Whoa! And of course, the first Pokemon he runs into is this thing. Ralts may not look like much right now, but it is one of the best special attackers in the game once you get it fully evolved. It's a Psychic type, has access to a lot of good TMs, and is just generally a very powerful Pokemon. If you're able to catch this thing, which, good luck, it's very rare in this route, and this is the only area in the game you can catch one, it can be a very good addition to your team. And yeah, this is basically just a little tutorial showing you how to catch Pokemon, even though by this point you should already know how to. But I mean, I guess it's good for Wally's story here. Wally's a character I definitely like more in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire than in the base Gen 3 games, because they do a lot of good stuff with Wally that make him stand out a lot more as a character. In this game, he's just kind of okay. I did it! It's my Pokemon! Haley, thank you! Let's go back to the gym!
So, did it work out?
Thank you! Yes, it did! Here's your Pokemon back! Haley, thank you for coming along with me! You two are why I was able to catch up my Pokemon! I promise I'll take really good care of it. Oh, my mom's waiting for me, so I have to go. Bye, Haley.
See ya, Wally. Now, Haley, if you want to become a strong trainer, here's my advice. Head for Rustboro City beyond this town. There you should challenge the gym leader, Roxanne. After her, go on to other Pokemon gyms and defeat their leaders. Collect badges from them, understood? Of course, I'm a gym leader too. We'll battle one day, Haley. But that's only after you become stronger.
So now we know our road ahead. We need to compete in the various Pokemon gyms around the Hoenn region, and eventually, once we're strong enough, we will return to Petalburg in order to fight our dad. Very nice. Now, I believe over here is Wally's house. You must be Haley, right? Thank you for playing with Wally a little while ago. He's been frail and sickly ever since he was a baby. We sent him to stay with my relatives in Verdanturf Town for a while. The air's a lot cleaner there than it is here. What's that? Where's Wally? He's already left our Wally. I wonder where he could have gotten by now. Wally was really happy when he told us that he caught a Pokemon. It's been ages since I've seen him smile like that. Good for him. So let's get moving.
Hello? Excuse me. Let me guess, from the way you're dressed, are you a Pokemon trainer? Well, maybe not. Your clothes aren't all that dirty. You're either a rookie trainer, or maybe you're just an ordinary kid. I'm roaming the land in search of talented trainers. I'm sorry to have taken your time.
So this character is exclusive to Pokémon Emerald. He doesn't even appear in Omega Ruby or Aqua Sapphire. We'll want to remember him for later. If you're gonna throw a Pokeball, weaken the wild Pokemon first. It'll be easier to catch if it's been poisoned, burned, or lulled to sleep. Definitely want to remember that for later. Oh no, I'm not a trainer, but that's right. If trainers lock eyes, it's a challenge to battle. If you don't want to battle, stay out of their sight. It's got quite a few different battles we can do here on this route. Leaving footprints in the sand is so fun. Sure it is. This guy's got another Zigzagoon. It shouldn't be any trouble for us, especially because of all the experience we gained from all those battles we did trying to get our own Zigzagoon. So yeah, as for the future of our team, I'm probably not going to level up Pocky on stream just because I want to focus on my main team members. But definitely off stream, I'm going to try to level up Pocky some more. Just that, so that she will be able to find better items for us whenever we need to, because that'd be good. Another strategy I recommend at this point, if you can, is to catch as many Zigzagoon as you can so that you get a lot of items after every battle, potentially. Alright, Jerk landed a good crit on that Seedot. So Seedot here is another Pokemon you could potentially get on Route 102. It's a pretty rare Pokemon, but if you're able to get it, it can be good. So right there, it's using a move called Bide. When a Pokemon's using Bide, do not attack it. It will store up power, and then once it unleashes its power 3 turns later, it will deal twice as much damage as the damage inflicted upon it while it's biting. It can be quite a dangerous attack. And that Jerk gets to level 10 and learns his first stab attack, Ember. So I haven't gone over this yet, but pretty much any attack you use that is the same type as the Pokemon will gain a plus, it'll gain 1.5 times the damage. So Ember will deal a lot more damage than Scratch. So we'll switch that up to the front there. Man, Pocky, you still haven't found us an item. Interesting. The sea, huh? Wonder what it's like at the bottom of the sea. Maybe we'll know someday. I fished up a tough-looking Pokemon. It has this magical quality to it. It surely looks tough. Yes, it does. Ah, cool. So what Pokemon you got? You got a Carvan, huh? a Wishy-Washy, an Aracuda, a Chinchou, a Relicanth. Oh, it's you. So Magikarp here is one of the weakest Pokemon in the game. Its only attack until level 15 is Splash, a move that does nothing. All of its stats, except for speed, are terrible, and among the Pokemon community, it's genuinely considered a joke. However, there is a reason why you would want to raise a Magikarp, and we'll be going over that much later on in the adventure, but if you know what's going on, it can be a very important addition to any team. Also, Shanty, can you supersonic this thing already? There we go. And might as well demonstrate this here. If we use Water Gun on this Magikarp, it did not very effective damage, because we're both water types, and I use a water type move on a water type, it did half the damage it normally would do. Let's go to Jerk. So you definitely want to remember which types deal not very effective damage, because that can help you out in a lot of situations. Knowing which attacks will deal the most damage to your opponents is a very important thing to remember in this series. So you'll definitely want to have the type matchups memorized. Luckily, I've been playing this game for this series for so many years, I have the type chart practically memorized, so it's all good. What the? Yep, you lost, dude. Sorry. Hey, Magikarp, you sure don't live up to your name, do you? No, it does not. Yet. So in this house, there's nothing. Why don't we come here later? At Seaside Cottage, where Mr. Briny lives, once a mighty sailor who never feared the sea, however stormy. Good to know. It's got some more berries over here. So I haven't demonstrated just yet, but the dark soil where berry trees grow, you're able to plant berries here. Although there's no reason why I want to do that just yet. We might do that much later on, but for now, I don't recommend doing that. Let's go on to this next battle. We must have been fated to meet. I ask you for a battle. Now this is an interesting trainer to fight. The lady class of trainers are nice to battle because they have a chance of giving you a lot of prize money when you beat them. So you definitely want to fight the lady trainers if you can. What's also interesting about them, I don't think we're going to get to demonstrate here. Yeah, we knocked our Zigzagoon out before it could demonstrate this, but the lady class of trainers is one of the few trainers that actually use items to heal their Pokemon. Specifically, she uses a Full Restore, an item that fully replenishes the HP and status of the Pokemon. And it's an item that she uses on a level 7 Zigzagoon. So yeah, kind of overkill. Fortunately, Pocky has still not picked up an item. Sometimes there are things to the ground even if you can't see them. That's why I'm always checking where I'm walking. So yeah, that guy's actually a good hint, because if we go over here to this blank patch here in the middle of the grass, we can find a potion. There are hidden items all over the game, and it can be very helpful if you're able to find them. So right here is one of Wurmple's evolutions, Silcoon. It is a pure bug-type Pokemon that will eventually evolve into a bug flying type. You could catch a Silcoon right now, but the only move he'll know is Harden. So I don't recommend it. Just catch a Wurmple and evolve it into a Silcoon instead. That is what I recommend. Let's go down here. You're a thief if you try to steal someone else's Pokemon. You should throw Pokeballs only at wild Pokemon. Yeah, you cannot use your Pokeballs against the trainer's Pokemon. I mean, you can, but you'll just be wasting the Pokeball, and that's no good. Excuse me, buddy. So here in Pellberg Woods, there's a lot more different Pokemon for you. Like this guy, Slack Off. This is a pure normal type Pokemon, and This one is quite interesting. Its signature ability makes it so that it can only attack every other turn. But with that said, it's got a lot of attack, so it's actually a really good party member if you're able to use it effectively. And I don't want to go too much into this, but it evolves into one of the strongest Pokemon in the game. If you're able to get around using it with its harmful ability, it can be a really good team member. Move on to our next fight over here. I caught a whole bunch of Pokemon. Go, 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 my bug Pokemon team.
Sure thing, kid.
Let's see what you got. Bugcatcher Lyle. He's got a team of Wurmple, as I remember. So yeah, Shanty and Jerk should have no trouble beating this guy. Actually, let's switch over to Jerk because he has the type advantage. So yeah, what's nice about starting with a fire type is that your fire attacks do a lot of damage to the early bug and grass type Pokemon you'll encounter in this game. Very effective, and it definitely makes Torchic a really useful starter. Meanwhile, Trico kind of struggles at this point because grass doesn't do a lot of damage to bug types. And Mudkip is just okay at dealing with the bug types. Water moves are neutral, but against the grass types that you can encounter around here, Mudkip kinda suffers a little. So easily Torchic is the best during the early game. One of the main contributing factors into why I decided to go with Torchic in this playthrough. Man, Pocky still does not have an item. Kinda disappointing right now. It's got a Paralyze heal here. And let's move forward. Not a one to be found. Hello, have you seen any Pokemon called Shroomish around here? I really love that Pokemon. I was gonna ambush you, but you had to dawdle in Petalburg Woods forever, didn't you? I got sick of waiting, so here I am. You, Devon researcher, hand over those papers. Hey! You're a Pokemon trainer, aren't you? You gotta help me, please! Huh? What do you think you're doing? What, you're gonna protect him? No one who crosses Team Aqua gets any mercy, not even a kid. Come on and battle me! So what we have here is not a pirate cosplayer. This is Team Aqua, the main villains of this story. Well, kind of. We'll go more into that later on. So leading off with a Poochyena. It's definitely stronger than most of the Pokemon we've encountered up to this point, but we still should not have too much trouble here. So I don't think I've gone over this. Howl is a status move that buffs the user's attack stat. It can be pretty helpful if you're using it. If the opponent's using it, it can be pretty devastating. But what's nice is that raising the attack stat of a Pokemon while it's confused increases the amount of damage that it inflicts upon itself. So that's very effective. You're kidding me! You're tough! Damn right. Grr, you've got some nerve meddling with Team Aqua. Come on and battle me again. I wish I could say that, but I'm not a Pokemon. And hey, we have Team Aqua also after something in Rustboro. I'll let you go today. Whew, that was awfully close. Thanks to you, we didn't rob me of these important papers. I know, I'll give you a Great Ball as my thanks. So we get the Great Ball for that. That has a much better catch rate compared to the regular Pokeball. In fact, it's 1.5 times better. Didn't that Team Aqua thugs say they were after something in Rustboro too? Uh-oh, it's a crisis! I can't be wasting time. So long, buddy. Still no item? Jeez. So I don't think the pickup Pokemon explicitly needs to be in the battle in order to pick up an item. It's just something that can occur. So here's another Pokemon we can catch in here. Shroomish. This is definitely a Pokemon I recommend picking up. It has access to a lot of status moves, and when it's fully evolved, it has really good offensive stats. It can
be a very effective party member. It's definitely one I'd recommend. So burn this thing down with Ember. That should get Jerk leveled up. Yep, level 11. Jerk is coming along very nicely. We should be pretty close to being able to take on some very tough opponents coming up. So get a Pokeball by examining that patch right there. Let's move up here.
If you take bug Pokemon to school, you gotta be instantly popular.
I can kind of agree with that. When I was a kid, I had a pet mantis, and one day I brought it to school, and oh boy, that was fun. This kid's got Nincada. This is a bug ground type Pokemon. Which is really good for Shanty because ground is weak to water.
Aw, that is so good.
So I recommend having a Wingull right now. It's very good at fighting stuff right now. Then we took those Nincada out.
I can't be popular if I lose.
Sorry, kid. And with that, I have officially made more progress than the original Emerald stream I did. I mean, that playthrough was hot garbo, so whatever. Level 6 Wurmple. That thing is one level away from evolving. So yeah, if you haven't caught a Wurmple at this point, I'd recommend trying to get the level 6 ones here. They evolve after like one level, and then you're not too far from getting it fully evolved. Take that thing out with Shanty, and then we're able to move onward. So you can see here, we got these little trees here. We can't move past them, but perhaps we'll have the ability to much later on.
I like filling my mouth with seeds and spitting them out fast.
Okay.
You can have this, so you try it out. Use on a Pokemon, it'll learn a move for firing seeds rapidly.
We get TM9 from this. TMs are a special item that allow you to teach moves to your Pokemon. So we go into this pocket here. This is the TM and HM pocket. Unfortunately, none of our Pokemon can currently learn this. But if you decided to put like a Lotad or Seedot or Shroomish onto your team, you can definitely teach us this. So unfortunately, this isn't a generation where Bullet Seed got boosted in base power, so unfortunately it's not too good in this game. But it could still be decent utility. We'll grab these berries here. And then over here, there's this little shop. And if we go back here, there's some more items we can grab. In that bare patch, you're able to find a Pokeball. And over here, we can get another potion. Good. And swap out here. Meryl! This is a water-type Pokemon, one that's a little interesting. This was a very rare Pokemon to find back in the second generation, but in this game they're much easier to find. It's mostly a defensive Pokemon. It has high HP and defenses, but its offensive stats aren't really that good. Still, it is like the mascot of a certain content creator that I am a huge fan of, and have actually met, like, once. That was like a year ago. Yeah, took that guy out. We examine there, we get a super potion. That is a much better potion that restores 50 HP instead of 20.
And there's another Tailo.
We don't need you, so we'll just have Shanti blow you away.
Alright, looks like that's all the items we can get here. One other thing that's also nice is you're able to organize the items in your bags. So that can be pretty helpful. Let's go into this little shop. Hello, this is the Pretty Petal Flower Shop, selling flowers all over the world. Your name is? Haley, that's a nice name. Haley, would you like to learn about berries? Berries grow in trees that thrive only in soft, loamy soil. Take some berries, be sure to plant one in the loamy soil again. A planted berry will soon sprout, grow into a plant, flower beautifully, then grow berries again. I want to see the whole wide world filled with beautiful flowers. That's my dream. Please help me, Haley. Plant berries and bring more flowers into the world. Hello. More attention you give to flowers, the more beautifully they bloom. You'll like tending to flowers. I'm sure of it. You can have this. The Whalmer Pail. This is an item that allows us to tend to berries. While berry plants are growing, water them with the Whalmer Pail. Oh, another thing, if you don't pick berries for a while, they'll drop off onto the ground, but they'll sprout again. Isn't that awesome? It's like they have the will to live. I'm trying to be like my big sisters. I'm growing flowers too. Here you go, it's for you. Get a raspberry by talking to this girl. Once a day, you're able to talk to her in order to get berries, and that can be very effective. You can plant a berry and grow it big, or you can make a Pokemon hold it. But now they have a machine that mixes up different berries and makes candies for Pokemon. I want some candy too. We'll go into that much later on this adventure. But for now, let's go get into some more fights as we make our way to the next city. Oh, sure, I'll accept your challenge. I have a lot of money. So this guy's already sounding pretty pompous. This is Rich Boy, the male equivalent of the Lady Trainer class. Definitely take this guy out, not just because he's a douche, but because you'll receive a lot of money by beating him. So already Shanti's doing some good damage there. And we managed to take it out with a crit. Good work, Shanti. Why couldn't I win? Because you're a scrub. Aha. There's some things money can't buy. That's Pokemon. Indeed. Well, depending on the game. I'm not going into that. Hello there. Should I or shouldn't I? Okay, sure. I will battle. So we're almost done with this route. Just a little bit more to go. This Haley here's got a Lotad. Kind of awkward for us. We don't have anything that's super effective against it right now. But for now, let's just have Jerk take it on. Because this thing is a grass-water type, we'll still be able to deal some decent damage with Ember. Oh yeah, that is good. Very good work, buddy. He's got a Shroomish. We'll let Jerk handle that. And that takes care of that one. I shouldn't have battled. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have. If you're faced with a decision, you let someone else choose for you, you'll regret it, however things turn out. There's another item here behind a tree we can't get past, so we'll have to save that for later. Man, Pocky, you have not been finding any items for us. It's like, I don't think I'm supposed to have you in battle, but this is very disappointing. Hello there. We're twins, we battle Pokemon together. So this is our first in-game instance of a double battle. Basically, both sides will send out 2 Pokemon, and we have them both battle at the same time. This is a mechanic first introduced in this generation, and oh boy, it's a good one. So you're able to target both your enemies, and oddly enough, your partner Pokemon. But that's mainly for, like, other strategies that we could go over, like, much later on in this adventure. But yeah, double battles are pretty interesting. They offer up a lot more strategy than regular battles. In fact, the GameCube Pokemon games are entirely focused upon the double battle formula, and having you focus on using 2 Pokemon against your opponent's 2 Pokemon, and Yeah, there's definitely a lot of cool tactics you can use by this. So much so, in fact, that double battles have become a standard for, like, competitive play, which is really cool. And a lot of people are very dismissive about double battles at first. Go figure. Jerk reached level 12. Very nice. We battled together, but we both lost. Yes, you did. We'll train our Pokemon more and be strong like you. You're strong. You have to train lots more. Yes, you do. Seriously, Pocky, where are the items? Well, I keep it a secret. I'm the water Pokemon expert. Huh? You don't know me. I don't know you. That's my purse. This guy's got a lot of water Pokemon. So I know it won't be very effective here, but let's go with Shanti right now. Let's try to take out this carp. Shanti, could you please land your Supersonic? It's kind of disappointing here. Supersonic actually doesn't have very good accuracy, which can be pretty problematic in some instances. But we managed to land it. Let's go for the water gun, doing pretty good damage. Even though that's not very effective, you can still do some good damage if your levels and stats are far enough along from your opponent. Managed to take that Magikarp out in just 2 hits. Very good. But let's go with Jerk. This should be a bit better. And let's go for Scratch. Very nice. This guy's really got not much going for him, does he? And another Magikarp. Shocking. Alright, this guy's almost done. Just one more hit will take him out. That Ivan's down. I thought it wasn't too bad, if I may say so, but I guess not. Ugh. I believe this guy is also exclusive to Emerald. Oh, Pocky's finally got an item. Got a potion. Yeah, that's alright. Hopefully you're able to find some better stuff for us in time. It's got cherry berries here. Those cure paralysis. And that is a Lepa Berry. Those restore power points. Haven't really gone over this, but power points determine how many times you're able to use your Pokemon's moves in battle. Once your power points are run out, you can no longer use that move in battle. Luckily, Pokemon centers heal them up very nicely, which is very good because the amount of items you're able to get in the game that restore power points is very limited. You cannot buy PowerPoint restoring items anywhere in the game. They have to be found in the field or grown from berry trees. So right just there, beyond the fence, we picked up an X defend. This is one of those temporary stat buff items, very useful in battle. With that, we finally made it to Rustboro City. It's probably where we're going to spend the rest of the stream before we call things here. Let's go look around. Devon Corporation's workers live in this building. Yeah, to you too, kitty. My daddy's working at the corporation. My daddy made this, but I can't use it, so you can have it. So that's a Premier Ball, one of the items that you can obtain by buying a 10 Pokeballs at the Pokemart. Way back in the old days, Devon was just a teeny tiny company. I I believe this building in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is where you can obtain an item called the Float Stone. Should be interesting. Devon's president likes to collect rare stones. I think the president's son also collects rare stones. Interesting. May learn a bit more about this in the future. So unfortunately, while we're inside of buildings, we're unable to use our running shoes, so keep that in mind for the future. Got a mart over there. Pokemon game's expansive battles sometimes change in the way it looks. A Pokemon changes shape. If one did that, I would be shocked. And here,
For my own Pokemon, I give them perfectly suited nicknames. It's my expression of originality.
yes, that's it.
Pikachu!
But giving the name Pikachu to a Pikachu? It seems pointless. I suppose it's good to use a name that's easy to understand, but... yeah. Did you know this? You can have a 2-on-2 battle even if you're not with another trainer. Catch the eyes of 2 trainers when you have 2 or more Pokemon, they'll both challenge you. Don't you think it'd be cool if you could beat 2 trainers by yourself? I mean, I already did that. Pokemon Trainer School? If I go to the school, will I be able to catch rare Pokemon easily? Oh no, let's check it out. Hey, it's this guy again.
Hello, didn't we meet before? I think back in Petalburg City. Let me introduce myself. My name's Scott. I've been traveling everywhere in search of outstanding trainers. More specifically, I'm looking for Pokemon battle experts. So, what brings you to this school? Are you a trainer too? First thing you should do is have a Pokemon learn the move Cut. If I remember correctly, someone in this town is Cut.
Pokemon can hold items, but they don't know what to do with man-made items like potion and antidote. A Pokemon holding a berry will heal itself. There are many kinds of items that Pokemon can hold. Boy, sure is hard taking notes down.
What about you, buddy? Students who don't study get a little taste of my Quick Claw. Whether or not you're a good student will be evident from the way you use this item. The Quick Claw is our first instance of an item that can be used exclusively as a held item. A Pokemon holding the Quick Claw will occasionally speed up and get to move before its opponent. There are many other items that are meant to be held by Pokemon, because those alone will give you many topics to study.
So let's go ahead and use this item. Specifically, I'm going to give that to whoever has less speed. Okay, Jerk has less speed than Shanty, so we'll give him the Quick Claw to hold for the time being. There's a lot more of these held items that we're gonna want to watch out for. They can be really good. I'm trading Pokemon with my friend right now. I always wanted a Seedot, and I'm finally getting one. Good for you, kid. You know some Pokemon moves can confuse a Pokemon? A confused Pokemon will sometimes attack itself without meaning to. But once it leaves battle, it'll return to normal. Good to know. Over here. Oh yeah, we already talked with you, buddy. Thank you for that. Roxanne, the gym leader, really knows a lot about Pokemon. She's really strong, too. The trainer school's excellent. If you study there, you should even become a gym leader. That'd be really nice. I've always wanted to know what it was like to be a gym leader. Specifically, I'd want to be a bug gym leader, because it's my second favorite type. The old sailor Mr. Briny lives in a cottage with a sea. He goes for walks in the tunnel every so often. Alright, let's check out the mart here. My Pokemon evolved. It's a lot of HP now. Buy super potions for it instead of ordinary potions. I'm buying some paralyzed heals and antidotes, just in case I run a shroomish in Petalburg Woods. I'm getting an escape rope just in case I get lost in a cave. Just need to use it to get back to the entrance. Welcome, how may I serve you? So this shop now has super potions. They can be pretty good healing items at this point, but I'm not gonna grab them right now. We're eventually gonna have access to a much better healing item that's worth a lot less money. So want to remember that for later. Don't have anything we really want to sell, so we'll just cut it there. Speaking of cut, why don't we go in here? That determined expression, that limber way you move, and your well-trained Pokemon.
You're obviously a skilled trader. No, wait, don't say a word. I can tell just by looking at you. I'm sure you can put this hidden machine to good use. No need to be modest or shy. Go on, take it. And we get HM1. That hidden machine, or HM for short, is Cut. An HM move is one that can be used by Pokemon outside of battle. Any Pokemon that's learned Cut can chop down thin trees if the trainer has earned the Stone Badge. And like a TM, an HM can be used more than once.
When they were expanding the city of Rustboro, my dad helped out. He made his Pokemon use Cut to clear the land of trees. So this is our first instance of a hidden machine. A thing that I am so glad they eventually gave up on in this series. So eventually, during the course of the story, we're going to need to use HMs in order to progress for the game. Cut is a decent attack by this point in the game, but it's not really one that I prefer to use over your standard level up moves, and we're not even able to use its secondary effect outside of battle until we get our first gym badge, so we're not going to worry about that too much right now. Just heal up for now. And talk to you. Just like people, there are male and female Pokemon. No one seems to have an idea how they're different. Check between the legs. Hello there. Man next door gave me an HM. I use it to teach my Pokemon how to cut down skinny trees. My Pokemon has a naive nature, my friend's is a jolly nature. Fascinating, a Pokemon and personalities. I know, right? Definitely a good thing they introduced into this series. Oh, who might you be? You're a new face around these parts. Just transferred to the Pokemon Trainer School. No. Every Pokemon has a special ability that it can use. Pokemon are such strange creatures. Now, I believe here is something that is exclusive to Pokemon Emerald. Oh, it's so hard every day. What's hard, you need to ask? Trying to figure out what to make for meals every day. It really isn't easy coming up with meals every day. Oh, hello. Welcome to the Pepper household. I have a question for you. Have you ever babysat? You see, I'm a new father, so raising a child's all new to me. And I have a problem. My daughter, Waldo, won't laugh enough. I think she'd laugh for me if I told her something funny. Do you know of a funny word or phrase you can tell me? It's wonderful, so let's hear it, your suggestion. So this is a thing you can use in order to unlock exclusive wallpapers for your Pokemon boxes. But in order to do this, you need to write a very specific thing that can be hard to determine. I could probably look up what to do for this, but let's put in a meme answer. Yeah, you know what is up. You know what's gonna happen. I see, let's give it a try, shall we? Megalovania! Megalovania! She's not smiling at all. Maybe Walda's a serious child. Okay, Walda's not an Undertale fan confirmed. Bitch. Let's get going. I challenged the gym leader, but it's not going to be easy winning with my Fire-type Pokemon. Fire-types don't match up well against Rock-type Pokemon. Ooh, is that something we gotta worry about? Pokemon you get in a trade from someone grows fast, but if you don't have certain gym badges, they may not obey you. Have you taken the Pokemon Gym Challenge? When you get that shiny gym badge in hand, I guess trainers begin to realize what's required of them. So we got the gym right there, but there's still some stuff we can do before going in there. Huh, my Pokemon's cute? Sure, I knew that, but if you really want, I'm willing to trade it to you. I'll trade you my Seedot for a Ralts if you want. I don't really recommend this trade at this point. I mean, you're able to obtain Seedot a little easier later on, so no. In all sorts of places, there are all sorts of Pokemon and people. I find that fascinating, so I go to all sorts of places. But yeah, that's our first instance of an in-game trade. There are certain NPCs that will trade you one species of Pokemon for another. And there can be some good trades in this game, but for the most part, I'm not going to be focusing on those. They're not very important.
We could go into this building, but there's not really anything in there for us just yet. The Devon Corporation, we all just joined into Devon. That company makes all sorts of convenient products. We'll go there much later. But up here, there's some stuff we can grab. Exploring a cave isn't like walking on a road. You never know when wild Pokemon will appear. It's full of suspense. There's not a whole lot we can explore in this area for now, but we want to remember it for later. So we can grab a super potion here. It's very good. And yeah, we got like 15 more minutes. We can go onward. So over here we got Route 116. There's a lot of stuff for us to do here. We're not going to be able to do everything we can possibly do here on our first visit, but we'll definitely be coming here a lot later. So here we got youngster Joey. Oh, he's upgraded his Rattata to a Machop. Not bad. I really like Machop. It's a good physical attacker. In fact, one of the best attackers you can get. Took that guy out pretty easily. Yeah, flying Pokemon are resistant to fighting type attacks, so definitely useful to use there. Ouch, a scrape. Have to put on a bandage. Bandages are signs of toughness. I got another one. Good for you, kid. So yeah, there's a lot of trainers on this route, which will give us a lot of good experience. There's also quite a few Pokemon we can catch in this area. For instance, we're able to catch the Nincada we saw that one trainer used earlier in this area. Nincada is kind of interesting. Starting off as a bug ground type, and when it evolves, it becomes bug flying. There's another thing that can happen when it evolves too, but we'll be going over that much later. Shanty just got poisoned. So when a Pokemon's poisoned, it'll start to lose health during battles. You want to finish the fight very quickly. Alright, we should be able to take care of this Nincada. Come on, hang in there, Shanty. Alright. Take this guy out, and then we can heal you up. I lost! I thought I had you! Yeah, you could've, but nope. Right, let's go to our berries and use those Pecha berries we got earlier to heal up Shanty. And why not, let's restore some HP with a Cornberry. Yeah, berries are nice because you can use them both out of battle or in battle. They're very helpful. I study at school and I study on the way home too. Fascinating. What you got for us, school kid, Karen? Oh, it's a Karen. She's gonna try to speak to her manager. Alright. Looks like things are stable now. Okay. Let's go to Jerk. Try to take this mushroom out. Gonna fry us some mushrooms. I actually don't really like mushrooms. Oh no, it's just not my... Just not a big fan of eating them. Took that guy out pretty easily. Sorry, Karen. I'm in shock. I lost? You ain't speaking to my manager. So a little further down this route, we got an interesting thing over here. Oh, hello, Nincada. Yep, as I just said earlier, you can catch these guys here. It's very quickly, we're gonna run up here. If the tunnel doesn't go through, then I'll just go over the top.
It's a dead end up here. I'm bored, so can we battle? So this is a new thing introduced in Emerald. If you walk into the line of sight of two Pokemon trainers at the same time, then they'll both challenge you to a battle. This is really darn cool. I like this feature a lot. There are a lot of opportunities in this game where you're able to get double battles where you normally couldn't in Ruby and Sapphire, and I really appreciate that. It makes a lot of things really interesting going forward. So here we got a Shroomish, and we also got a Geodude. Geodude is a rock ground type Pokemon with very high attack and defense. Unfortunately, it's not very effective against water by a lot. Definitely use your grass or water types against them. And Shanty just learned Wing Attack. That is her first flying attack, and it's a really good one. So we should take out the Shroomish. Wing Attack's got pretty good power by this point in the game. Oh, we just got put to sleep. Yeah, that's Effect Spore in action. And next we got a Lotad. Really wish Shanty was awake right now, but looks like Jerk will have to handle things here. Unless you decide to wake up right now? No. Come on. You can handle this. Alright, that guy's out. And so are you. So hang on a moment. Okay. I know why things are kind of shaky right now. Let's go ahead and use our Chestaberry to wake up Shanty. Not really doing that good at preserving my berries, but I don't really plan on using them for... Not planning to cultivate berries during this playthrough, sorry. We'll rock you hard. Oh, that's just the way I like it. Devin, it's got a Geodude. Already seen this guy before. Shanty, kill it like the rest. Yeah. If it wasn't clear at this point, this is why I really wanted Shanty on the team, because rock types are very strong against my Torchic. So having a water type to deal with these rock Pokemon is very effective. Take care of this guy, and then we should be good. No contest at all! Damn right. Them. This area up here we can't access until we get the ability to cut. Want to dig that tunnel. Interesting. So up here we can find an X special. I believe that raises the special attack stat temporarily in battle. You see these little indents in the wall here? Want to remember those for later. But for now, let's go into this cave. This is the Rust Turf Tunnel. Examine there, we get a Pokeball. If we go over here, we can run into a counter. Whismur. This is the only Pokemon you can find in the Rust Turf Tunnel. It's a pure normal type, and it's pretty decent overall. If you're looking for a good normal type Pokemon that can learn a lot of different TMs, Whismur is definitely a good one to pick up. Takes a while for it to get fully evolved, but it's still a decent Pokemon. And Shanty grows to level 14, very nice. Well, that's gonna be so good once we get a little farther along this journey. Let's go over here, we can see that the path is blocked by some rocks. Cannot move any farther. And that takes care of pretty much everything we can do before the first gym. So I think we're going to call things very soon here, once we get back to the Pokemon Center. Still some good opportunities to get a little bit more experience and maybe run into another Pokemon that can be found here. Well, we can run into Whismur out here in the grass. That's pretty good at least. But if we move away from that... There's another Poochyena. Pretty standard stuff right now. Take you out. And that's pretty much everything we can do before challenging the first gym. So with that, I believe I am going to call things here. We made a lot of good progress. We've already built our team quite substantially at this point, and managed to make it to the site of our first major battle in the game. So, with that said, we are going to call things here. Next time on Pokémon Emerald, we're going to be taking on the first gym and seeing what else we can do in our grand adventure here in Hoenn. Until next time, take care, wash your hands, wear a goddamn mask, and stay alive, please.